Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we deliver the shortcut to being truly well-informed. We take the source material, strip away all the fluff, and get you straight to the core insights. Today we're doing something really specific. We're looking at day 26 of a 26-day strength control home workout.
That's right. And our mission today isn't really to critique the exercises themselves, but to systematically break down the instructional framework. We're basically distilling the fitness philosophy behind this, very efficient 25 to 30-minute equipment-free routine.
And what we found is pretty interesting. It seems to be a masterclass in maximizing results by focusing on just one core principle.
Control. It all comes down to control.
Okay, so let's unpack that because the timing here is key. This is day 26. It's the very end of a nearly month-long program. The stated goals are pretty clear. Build muscle control, improve balance, strengthen the core. But usually at the end of a program, you're talking about, max load or peak reps. So why is control the big focus for the grand finale?
Well, that's what's so fascinating here. The creators of this routine, they clearly get that control is the ultimate form of mastery, especially when you're just using your body weight. If you look at how day 26 is built, it's all about maximizing safety and muscle activation by getting rid of momentum completely.
So no bouncing, no cheating the reps.
Exactly. Control forces those little, often weaker, stabilizing muscles to fire up. It prepares your whole nervous system. It turns a simple move into a genuine strength challenge.
And that whole philosophy, it starts right from the get-go. The structure is pretty classic, very efficient. You've got your warm-up, circuit, finisher, and cool-down.
Yeah, all laid out to be done in under half an hour.
But that warm-up really sets the tone immediately. It's 4 minutes long, and the single main instruction is move slow and controlled.
And that slow start isn't just about, loosening up. It's a commitment. It's like the routine is making a contract with your body, saying, look, we're moving efficiently today, and that means deliberate, controlled prep, not just going all out.
I noticed the 4 movements are each a minute long. Starts with arm circles and shoulder rolls, then into hip circles and leg swings. Pretty classic dynamic mobility stuff.
Correct. And that focus on dynamic mobility right at the start is so important. It primes your major ball and socket joints, the shoulders and hips, for the work they're about to do.
I see.
You really can't get effective, controlled work from your core if your arms and legs aren't ready to move fluidly and safely first.
But here's the part that I thought was a bit of a tell.
Yeah.
It foreshadows the main event. There's a minute of slow squats right there in the warm-up.
Yes.
Followed by march to high knees. That inclusion of slow squats so early on, that's a huge clue, isn't it?
It absolutely is. That warm-up squat is a trial run. It's building what we'd call neuromuscular familiarity.
Okay.
It's basically teaching the brain and the muscle how to communicate and move slowly before the real work starts in the main circuit. It's telling your body, today is about tempo, not speed.
Okay, let's get into that main event. The strength control circuit. This is where it gets really interesting for me. It's built for density. 3 full rounds of 5 exercises, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest.
That 40-20 interval is perfect for this. It maximizes the work you're doing, but still gives you just enough recovery to, maintain that control we've been talking about.
So you're pushing for muscle fatigue, but not total failure.
Right. You're trying to avoid control failure. But the real magic, I think, is in the specific notes for each of the 5 movements. This is where control becomes intensity.
I do want to challenge the idea here for a second, though. If this is day 26, the final day, shouldn't they be adding difficulty, like, using books or a backpack? Why stick with just body weight and slow it down?
That's a really important question. The answer is kind of in the physics of body weight training. Because we can't add external weight, we have to maximize the internal resistance.
And slowing down does that.
It's the quickest way. You extend the time. The muscle is under tension. The difficulty isn't going down, it's just being reframed. It's a different kind of hard.
Let's start with that first move then. Slow squats. The instructions are incredibly specific.
They are. A precise tempo, 3 seconds down, 1 second up. The targets listed are quads, glutes, control, and joint safety.
That 3-second eccentric phase, the lowering, that's the key, right?
That's where all the insight is. For bodyweight routines, time is the resistance. That long, sustained tension gets rid of momentum. It forces pure muscle engagement, and it's so much safer on your joints than, just bouncing through fast reps.
Anyone who's tried a 3-second down squat knows exactly what you mean. It completely changes the demand.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, second exercise, push-ups. And again, the instruction is slow tempo.
And this immediately broadens the muscles you're hitting. chest, shoulders, triceps, and critically the core.
Right.
A slow push-up needs way more core stabilization to stop your hips from sagging or rotating than a fast one. It turns a simple upper body exercise into a total body stability challenge.
Next up, reverse lunges, which are mandated as controlled.
And here, the targets shift very explicitly towards stability. We're talking glutes, balance, and knee stability.
So you can't just drop into it.
No, if you use rebound or speed in a lunge, you're basically cheating the stabilizers. Moving in a controlled way forces those small, deep muscles, like your glute medius, to really fire up, reinforcing that overall goal of improving balance.
And then we get into pure core work, starting with a static hold, the plank.
Yeah, that's the anchor of your anterior core strength. It's listed specifically for core strength and posture. You're building that static strength right before moving to the final exercise.
The Superman raise and hold, which targets that often neglected area, the lower back and what they call spinal support.
And this is just great program design. You can't have true core strength if you're only working the front. You have to work the back, the posterior chain.
So it's a balanced approach.
A very balanced approach. The routine systematically balances the front core work of the plank with the back core strength of the Superman. And after 3 rounds of that circuit, you've worked the entire central part of your body under these really strict rules.
Maximizing that 25-minute window. And I think it's worth noting, the materials say you can optionally use water bottles, which just shows this is really designed to be accessible. It's about technique, not load.
100%.
Okay, so we've established strength and control with that circuit. Now we move to the finisher. It's explicitly called the core stability finisher. And stability, fighting against rotation, holding a position, that's a different goal from the general strength we just built, right?
It absolutely is. Stability is about challenging the core while your arms and legs are moving, or challenging it against gravity in a different way. This finisher is designed to hit that instability hard.
And the structure's different. It's 2 rapid rounds, 30 seconds per exercise, with a full minute of rest between rounds.
Much more intense, yeah.
Let's break down the 4 moves here. First up is the dead bug.
The dead bug is the perfect anti-extension exercise. For you listening, this means it's fighting that tendency we all have to let our lower back arch off the floor when we extend our arms and legs.
Total control, no momentum.
Exactly.
That's followed by bicycle crunches, which add in rotation, then heel taps, and finally, the side plank.
And that sequence is just brilliant. You go from pure anti-extension, the dead bug, to dynamic rotation with the bicycle crunches.
Okay.
Then you go back to a sort of frontal stability with heel taps, and then finish with pure side-to-side or lateral stability with the side plank.
And that side plank has a crucial detail. You have to switch sides each round.
Precisely. If you only do one side, you're just creating an imbalance. By hitting both the right and left side plank, the finisher gives you a complete holistic core workout.
Yeah.
It really delivers on that promise of total core mastery.
So we've pushed the body through peak controlled exertion. But the design philosophy here says that control has to extend all the way to the finish line. You can't just crash at the end.
Exactly. The benefits of a structured cool down are huge for recovery and, long-term gains. This routine includes a non-negotiable cool down and stretch that takes up the final 4 minutes.
Yeah, and the timing is broken down very precisely. It's 3 30-second stretches, hamstring stretch, quad stretch, and a chest and shoulder stretch.
And the brilliance there is just in the efficiency. They didn't pick random stretches. They picked the 3 major muscle groups that were most stressed by the circuit.
So hamstrings and quads from the squats and lunges.
Right. And the chest and shoulders from those slow push-ups, it's tailored recovery. It's designed to reduce muscle tension and stop you from getting stiff.
And the final 2 minutes are for winding down. 1 minute in child's pose and 1 minute of deep breathing.
And this fulfills that recovery need both physically and, I think, mentally. Child's pose is great for your spine and lower back, which just worked hard in the Supermans. But the deep breathing, that serves to bring your heart rate down while reinforcing that idea of mental control. The whole thing ends exactly as it began, with deliberate focus.
So what does this all mean? I think the key takeaway for you, the listener, is that this Day 26 routine is a masterclass in efficiency and safety. True strength training, especially with no equipment, isn't defined by just raw reps or how much you can lift, but by controlled execution. The quality of the movement is what really drives the change.
Absolutely. The source material shows us that a concise 25-minute routine can hit every major fitness goal: strength, balance, core stability, just by forcing you to follow strict tempo and control rules. The real challenge wasn't adding weight, it was about perfectly controlling the weight you already have.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought that sort of ties this all together. Since this routine, Day 26 uses the slowest, most controlled movements we've seen, like those 3-second down squats. It does raise a question. If the end of this 26-day program is based purely on tempo and control, does that mean mastering control is actually the peak form of fitness?
It really makes you think. It suggests that maybe the hardest thing isn't lifting the heaviest weight, but mastering the complexity and the discipline of slowing down. I mean, are you truly strong if you can't be slow? We'd encourage you to maybe explore that concept of control in your own activities this week.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.